King Celestia once said, life is like theater, so I watch all of the drama. These are the days of our lives. Watch how the world turns. I'm young and I'm restless. This is no paradise hotel. I'm brighter than all your stars, and I'm bigger than the sea. I'm in love with me. I am the bold and the beautiful, 'cause I'm too Ross Clark bold. I'm too hot to hold, too hot to handle. I blow out the Obeah Man candle and turn out all the lights on your stage. This storm is no longer caged. I'm raged by the sadness of the black woman without her man. This is the real TV, realer than TV. I don't believe anything I see. I believe in what's happening to me. Oh yeah, spin your web. Spin your web, 'cause I don't believe in you. I believe in me. So spin your web, 'cause it won't work on me. Spin your web, spin your web, spin your web.
I smoke the ganja to make me feel nice. I smoke the ganja to make me feel alright. I smoke the ganja to make me feel nice. I smoke the ganja to make me feel alright.
I speak truth and ask cautious questions they won't answer. I curse, I hex in my fate, my medicine is the ganja. But get blocked behind the big gate, feeling anger. A toothbrush steak is my fate, my medicine is the ganja. Muslims to help Jews trade slaves from Africa. Jihad is my fate, my medicine is the ganja. Hard drugs led to the death of old dirty bastards. Swords is my fate, my medicine is the ganja. Puff, puff, pass, but it's just me. Never mixing weed with coke, man, that's just me. Used to drink and drive, thank God I'm still alive. To tell the youth not to do it, but they won't listen. Brought up in the Western school system, uses television to keep their minds in a prison. Incarcerating or killing blacks that have the wisdom to open minds. But there's no barcode, 'cause they won't stop the open mic. The open sight from the tunnel vision to the end of the funnel. The Most High can't have that, watch Babylon crumble. Some love it so much, look back and turn to fallen angel dust. I stay humble, staying blessed, passing screw-faced members of my race in this concrete jungle. Cross-faced chicken wings, submission holes, make fags scream uncle. While burning rainbow flags, drag sight the burning halo. Fags hate to be called cigarettes, bumping through them loud. Driving up church with more than cracked windows, I have no regrets. Until walking up the old city hall steps, this old man with dimples pointed out carvings of Freemasonic symbols. Living in the city of infidels, crossbred and still breeding with no races. The devil hides behind many faces and leads nations walking up and down, conquering with a crucifix. Before Africans were slaves, it was Europeans. The word Slav explains to get the details like check the true nature of the beast by William Mackey. Yeah.
I smoke the ganja to get a higher meditation.
One that emancipation, 'cause we don't deal with trading.
I smoke the ganja to make me get this nice vibration. Ganja, oh the ganja. Ganja, oh the ganja. Ganja, oh the ganja. Ganja, oh the ganja.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious. Ali is happy when Moors are happy. Vixens wink fake lashes trying to trap me. 40 days and nights battling the lower demons. This is not the land, hybrids can't be free men. If this is not their land, who's the immigrant thinking they're sovereign? Imagination figment, recessive is their status, lacking pigment. Game for the Thanksgiving, but no commitment to indigenous Moors they conquered with Bibles. signs in the vitals and signs in the cycles, only to strangle, embracing my rivals. Free national standards, not playing with the tribals. Each more is their own Christ, not disciples. Whether hands or thoughts, no worshiping idols. Always carry my Moorish Quran, no recitals. Everyone will not process ancients' arrivals. Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
Innate mystic ability to show and prove a lesson, coupled with the agility to move you with the message. Presence of divine mind to navigate you with a reference, urgent with a purpose, perfect. Emergent urban legends, real more is not a question or a choice or a preference. You are who you are, you should have the same obsession. Broke the same jewels to a dude, the corner Jane and Western. What you reppin', all that effort, that direction keep you separate in a world of blind sheep. I was born to be a shepherd, mind like an elephant. Got the paws of a leopard, means I'm wise and I'm strong. Crank you up like I'm a record, take you to the body shop. Correct your lines to true vector manifestations. Matter, energy, and mind, spirit men unsung. Trey Young dropping dimes until you tighten up, you catching splinters from the pine. Clean the clouds out your thoughts, that's what keep you in the bind.
Initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious initiates of the sacred brotherhood of elite MCs. Raw mysterious.
This is all 9 lives, synchronized in perfect step, time after time, averting certain death before you leave. Must relieve karmic debt, which beget this war within us. Our C-Tech best, dust off records, our forebearers left. Put the needle to the groove, return to their mindset. Download begins, rewind cassette. Time is death, so then kill your clocks. This the will of Allah, filling you all to the rim and then some, till it spills and it falls over all facets of the masses. Transactions composed in maxims, revising your cannons. Drove past heaven, it was littered with abandoned mansions where adverse possessed like 5 or 6. Gave them back their addresses, I got family moving in. Forget the madness, let the reversion begin.
True Ali the mastermind, other leaders asinine. Never dropping facts, use emotions to pass the time. Never make it on my shrine, Kundalini up the spine. Halo glow to aftershock, make you see the sign of times. Beeline to bloodline, Aquarian age flood mines. Rhyme like a plumb line, sometimes it's bun time. Rock mid-range deadly, all around the foul line. Playback I'm front line, Moorish is my guideline. Step and cause a fault line, throw your service offline. Watch them get outshine, cross me like a state line. Get cut like a brake line, F you and your concubine. Strangle with a fishing line, when I help is genuine. Always from the heart, all chakras are intertwined. Self you must redefine, more from the Sibylline. Not the clandestine, stake a vamp at chest line. Sun stay stationary, shadow left behind. Say you don't want to, not that you have no sign. See good in everything and how you must train the mind. Give out some love and find peace sublime. Water and the key lime keeps the body alkaline. Law should remain divine, not too much maritime. Get all 13 journals of the Moorish paradigm. Israelites from Saraline, my path is the narrow line. Thought you had the upper hand, I saw it like a tarot line.
I'm painting with the big pen, game 6. Unity about as crucial as game 6 of the finals. I'm glowing like I won the title, but Ellen Bader noble titles. Don't worship humans, that's a false idol. Heavenly vibes coming from my recital. Middle fingers to connivers and instigators. The truth to revive you like the liberators. So this a pump to the chest. Utilize what's useful and throw away the rest. My vegan ways will put the beef to rest. My calling got directed like receptionist. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to put that bullshit to rest. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to bring that bullshit it to rest.
When I step in the center, they can tell I'm a winner, live my life right. Thank God, I'm not a sinner, live my life like I'm passing through time. Disastrous crimes, you killing up my people, my mask and your bath is why. You feeling the energy rise, because we open the eyes, we see the open skies and all them cop picking lies. That's how I battle enemies, I be using my energy. I move like the centipede, in the mirror see tending me. Pay attention to tendencies, trying to mess up the chemistry. We can be one big family, I do it for the nation. How many gon' stand with me? I got the profit up front and you're mad at me. Can't love a man that look like you, but it's sad to see. I'm just acting like the children watching and it has to be. Nationality got me feeling like a dad to be. Grass sheep provide the beat and I just had to bring the heat. Khalifa society, Canaanland Moors, Moorish connection, rise of the Moors, 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 Moors.
Come see us at Nana's Kitchen. God bless and be safe out there. Love you. Come see us at Nana's Kitchen. God bless and be safe out there. Love you guys. Nana's Kitchen. Where's it at? Nana's Kitchen. Much love. Bye-bye.
Yes, y'all and discard them like blunt trash. Active more Avengers, call that a hawk smash. Your conscious spoon sniffling booze and role models. Won't accept facts and just quarrel. No 5 principles, of course, no profit. Facebook and YouTube names they won't have on the docket. They say go fund me, and when you go fund them and get robbed, I say I told you, don't fund them. Still won't listen and call yourself deaf. While most say middle, my path is right hand or left. Some say your cult and think we worship Baphomet. We just Sufis with trance for Muhammad. Offerings of fruit for Oya and Oshun. If that won't work, we call in some Shangoons. Summon demons at the full blood and new moons. Mirror steel blade only escaped by a few coons. And those that escaped are on the run and stay running. Falling off the London Bridge or jumping.
Nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. We studied from the masters, we know that's self-reloaded. From Moorish Empire books to hip-hop decoded. Before modern decoders, we studied A.A. Rashid, Conscious Ken Hemet, Beza Lim and Akeem. Moore's order up the table round like Harmon had soul. We got degrees by the pound, stay uplifting humanity. We got Moors near Japan and lands nether and even Afghanistan. On every Atlantis island, Moors you find them. Repping Moorish nation, not Turtle Island. Island when it's really a continent. Anybody saying Drew Ali's a myth incompetent. Claiming black and Indian nonsense, then begging active Moors to help you out your consequence. We still lend a hand, our first principle love. Realize, not a hand, just a stick in a glove.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors. On and on to the break of dawn. Many Negro black scholars coin tell pawns. Doing dirty work keep you deaf and dumb. With no love, truth, peace, justice, or freedom. Moors have returned called the ancient ones. We are the copper tone natives, not the Asian ones. Feathers up in turbans, Allah's patient sons. Key man escaped shots from Smith agent guns. Or any quilter pro plans or thesis plots. Not getting a slave name, talking to racist cops. Violating oaths of office and ethics. Never knew I was a Moor, thought I was synthetic. Stop being skeptic, suddenly apologetic. We shut down the psychological warfare methods. Active Moors check it, see it as a lesson. Muftis will know their strength before the foes test it.
nobody beats the,
Nobody beats the Moors.
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 Nobody beats the Moors, nobody beats the Moors. Nobody Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but Ali in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Moorish or more, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Fact slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. VAR feminists, stomped on by elephants. Won't like go prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pole magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred book, all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask. Tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water. Watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts with Moors, they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents won't explain expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the prophet. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send Ritz again. Remain cautious, cause often it's in again. That's in the police out, just the silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man.
This is what it feels like. 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 People running up to me that I don't know. Are you a prince? They ask. Tell them I'm from Morocco. Look me up and down with a smile, not a frown. Turn their brain to water. Watch the lower self drown. Wanna touch my antennas and steal my energy. Eyes bulge, telling them I'm always King Edward V. When it comes to facts, with Moors they get beggarly. They ask Morocco where? The farthest northwesterly. With every question asked, I respond cleverly. All dependents warn, explained expertly. Going in their wallets, pull out pictures with feathers, breaking down the ring, then the mason confesses. He's at 33 degrees, now the convo stretches like yoga into esoteric metaphysic lessons. When my people aren't like me, he impresses. When we take Moorish science to the highways and hedges. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
They tried to get you to think again. That's the profit. I'm upright, don't need a friend. And you can't stop this. I'ma write with my pen. Violate me and I'ma send Brits again. Remain cautious, cause often they sin again. They send the police out just to silence men. When they bust through your door, you won't breathe again. Nationality will show you how to live again. It can change the predicament you're living in. You can heal the whole world without medicine. Only truth can make you a better man. Why lie? Cause you got paid to murder men. Then you try to lock them up when they riot in. That's okay, cause for freedom I'm diving in. With no knowledge you come back to die again. Resurrect me not, cause I'd rather be one with Allah.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Formless, for the ones who've never fit into boxes. This is for the formless, for the ones who've never fit into boxes, not because they're lost, but because none of them hold the whole truth. This is for the ones whose very existence requires others to shatter their ego just to get close. The ones who can't be understood because they can only be felt. This is for the ones who've wondered, will anyone ever meet me without needing to be led first? For the ones who hold paradoxes naturally as breath, who make others question everything they thought they knew just by being. You are never meant to be simplified. You are not here to be figured out, because those who know how to feel beyond form will find you.
7 years of research, I've never seen anything like this before. This is a motor that cells use to move around. You have trillions of them in you right now. That is the top of a column in a Hindu temple. The level of detail and craftsmanship is one thing, but there's a level of geometric and engineering knowledge that is closer to what we see in aircraft manufacturing. That turbine and the biomotor both do the same thing so that an airplane and bacteria can move. If this isn't depicting the same thing, you're gonna have to explain to me where the design inspiration came from that coupler and the little stator guy right here. No way they could see these things. These things are complex molecular parts that are assembled and held together by electrons and run on electricity so bacteria can move. This little guy is what gets me though. He's like a little clutch that engages the molecules so it can spin. That's not what that is. Run it back. In the little animation, you know what you see when you look straight up into that motor? You see this thing right here. If you look straight up in one of these temples, guess what you see? There's a pile of coincidences and then there's a pile of explanations, and this pile is getting quite large. Last one, they may look the same, but the biomotor runs on electrical frequency, which I would have labeled with a snake if I was writing a manual for this thing. Seven years of research, I've never seen anything like this before. This is a motor that cells use to move around. You have trillions of them in you right now. That is the top of a column in a Hindu temple. The level of detail and craftsmanship is one thing, but there's a level of geometric and engineering knowledge that is closer to what we see in aircraft manufacturing. That turbine and the biomotor both do the same thing so that an airplane and bacteria can move. If this isn't depicting the same thing, you're gonna have to explain to me where the design inspiration came from that coupler and the little stator guy right here. No way they could see these things. These things are complex molecular parts that are assembled and held together by electrons and run on electricity so bacteria can move. This little guy is what gets me though. He's like a little clutch that engages the molecules so it can spin. That's not what that is. Run it back. In the little animation, you know what you see when you look straight up into that motor? You see this thing right here. If you look straight up in one of these temples, guess what you see? There's a pile of coincidences and then there's a pile of explanations, and this pile is getting quite large. Last one, they may look the same, but the biomotor runs on electrical frequency, which I would have labeled with a snake if I was writing a manual for this thing.
There is a serious problem for the West for sure. I think the West did not see it coming. However, it was very naive of the Western nations to think that the exploitation of Africa was going to continue unabated forever. The West is definitely, if I may use four-letter word, not so kind, they may be pissing in their pants, because what's happening in Africa is indeed a revolution, and a revolution that's way past due. A revelation among Black people. They're waking up and realizing that what has been happening is wrong, is wrong, is wrong, and change must come. And for true change to come, it must be brought by the people.
In an extraordinary and unapologetic act of diplomatic defiance, the Republic of Chad has officially banned all U.S. nationals from entering its territory. This wasn't just a headline. That's exactly what Chad just did. And the world needs to stop and pay attention. A bold and unapologetic reply to the United States controversial travel ban that blacklisted multiple African countries, including Chad.
What you are seeing is an African electorate that is now awoken, that is informed. They understand the real issues. In the past, Africans have been misinformed, misled, and given false information, and being thrown a shiny object and being told only the African head. There is.
Sound familiar? Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Welcome Q&A Wednesday. You know we gotta do some stuff before we get to that. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. 1920s, they still can't figure out what he brought yet. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Does it sound familiar? This is the same thing that the black guys been complaining about. Same stuff that they're saying. And what they do over there? What they do? They said, we are a nation. Said, we are a nation. And all of them put aside their BS. And they unify. As a nation. Now they can meet on their own and figure out their issues. Because everybody has something that somebody else could use. Stuff is not complicated. But too many want to play Negro, black, colored, whatever else they want to call themselves games. That's the issue, the Negro problem. And the Negro problem is only going to be solved one way, and that's through what Noble Drew Ali brought in the 1920s. All the other nations are solving their Negro problem. Nationalizing all their resources. We're saying that we're a nation. We say that this
individual right here is our leader, and we're following them anywhere they go. We're going to rep for them. We're going to sleep in the street to protect these people that we put in there. And they're a nation. But just these ones above Mexico can't figure this thing out. And everybody's suffering just because they don't want to get this lesson, because they're too busy selling out their sellout leaders. They sell out their sellout leaders. Go clap and applaud and give them awards for being traitors. Everyone else is going with nationality and nationalizing their land and their resources. That's where everyone's going right now. Every man must worship under their own vine and fig tree is happening right now. Wouldn't that mean that that's prophecy? Right. And then Garvey said that too, right? All right. Remember, we're saying the world is doing this. Some African leaders say, hold on a second. If you got the resources over there, and I got resources over there, and then the brother over there got resources, where are we going to these modern Europeans? Let me just do it. We'll just get stuff from each other. Well, they said that we can't. What do you mean they said that we can't? Isn't this our land? This is our land, isn't it? And then look where they're at now. All of a sudden, they're building houses and apartment buildings, paving streets, and all this stuff. These people never had the thought to do that for themselves years ago. You just realize this. Oh, because everyone that tried, they just murdered them. Everyone that tried. No, I just murder them. Get them out the way. It's the same game that they ran on all of us. But some of our family figured it out. You know, some of us playing dumb. Some of us are comfy. Some of us are comfy. So comfy that they get to talk crazy.
The further you get away from supreme law, the weaker your argument becomes. So when you say, I'm Negro, black, and colored, you're down here trying to argue. All your legal arguments are down here. Negro, blacks, and colors. Down here. Now watch this. Does it like the bottom? No, it's not the bottom. You know what's worse than Negro, black, and colored? Watch this. Moorish American. Why? Because Moorish Americans are stateless in theory. Because they say they're not even citizens of the United States. Okay, then what country is providing you protections as Moorish Americans? Answer, none.
Fiction. Fiction.
The further you...
Because before you talk about anything else, you have to ask yourself, why these people making up a fake flag? Forget they're reading out of law dictionaries, and forget that they're reading constitutions and they're doing all that. Where they get that fake flag from that they're pretending that they're some Moroccan whatever? How old is that flag that they have? And again, the Canaanland Wars timeline is 08. We can't talk about before 08. But from 08, we can talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about, because we've been around since 08. when these people were still doing nigger stuff. Because we know in 08 there was none of this. People didn't even exist. They know nothing about being Moors. Then all of a sudden they're popping up. They're the man. How are they the man? How are they the man? They figured all this stuff out. And then we know Moors who, before they were calling themselves AMPAC, when they were in the park meeting and all that. And we know Moors who saw the BS. I said, no, I'm not going to be done with this BS. Because this is some BS. Making up a fake flag and all that stuff, trying to pretend to be some type of authority for the Moors. They could be authority of themselves. You know, nothing's wrong with that. You could be authority of yourselves. But you start saying that Moorish American stateless, that means you completely burn Noble Drew Ali's literature. You can't tell me about honors to Noble Drew Ali or you honor him or whatever when you're saying Moorish American stateless. When Noble Drew Ali said that's a nationality, who has more authority than Noble Drew Ali in the Americas to say whether Moorish American nationality is legit or not legit, or where could it be verified? Or Noble Drew Ali said that in 1920s, Moorish American. How is 2025 you're questioning the status of Moorish Americans? Questioning the status of Moorish Americans. I don't know how they figured out. I don't know how they figured out. Right? There's more who we know that knows them. He's with Noble Drew Ali. He doesn't have some wealth of info, and then he's over here and he's making up a fake flag and saying that he's the grand whatever like that. You need to, no. None of that. Right? No ego. No ego. No wanna be the man. The fraudulent jurisdiction of Morocco, the over there. Let's just get you something. Just in case the issue of Moorish American and really what it is hasn't hit you. Let's just review something for you. Just review something. Remember, this is before some AMPAC whatever. Right? Speech of His Excellency Mati Jorio, Ambassador of Morocco, at the Moorish Centennial Celebration honoring Noble Drew Ali, 1986. Right, this is before AMPAC. It is a privilege for me and for the other staff members of the Embassy of Morocco to attend the Noble Drew Ali Centennial Tribute Dinner. Please let me take this opportunity to express to you our collective appreciation for your kind invitation and my personal appreciation for having been chosen to receive the Ambassador of the Faith Award. I am greatly honored. It is also a pleasure for us to be in the company of such distinguished guests as those here tonight, and to be taking part in such a joyous celebration. We are happy to bring you all greetings from His Majesty King Hassan II and the people of Morocco. By now, I have been made well aware of your devotion to strengthening the ties linking the Moorish American community to Morocco. So obviously, the embassy of Morocco recognized that there's a Moorish American community. Remember, this is 86. Morocco, for its part, welcomes your interests and your work for a better understanding between us. Oh, that means that these are two separate entities then, right? It's in us. They're either the same or they're two separate entities. And what's the same? What's the tie? The Moorish. Because everybody knows who the Moors are. Which Moors are you talking about? In our case, we're talking about the Moorish Americans. And we're talking about the Moroccans of the kingdom. And that these people's ambassador in 86 acknowledged that, oh, we're, as Morocco, we recognize Moorish Americans, we're at their 100-year dinner. I think some stuff's around 100 years and other people are taking it as a joke. No, but look at our people. They take this as a joke, don't they? Right? Kentucky Fried Chicken, bucket hats, and all that. No, Israel is not a prophet. He can't be a prophet. And all his prophecies are manifesting right now in your face, proving his position. And then if his position's proven like that, what do you need these other people out here claiming that they're whatever for? What do you need them for? If Dwally brought you everything it takes to save a nation, he brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Why would someone else have something to save you? You don't even recognize what Noble Drew Ali brought yet. Then you're over here wasting finance with people trying to correct status and all this. Don't even know what you're doing. And again, not knowing what you're doing because your foundation doesn't have Noble Drew Ali. And if he's not up front, you don't have a position. So some people claiming that they're the Moroccan whatever because this is Morocco. And because this is Morocco, then you have to say you're Moroccan. No, you don't. No, for 100 years, they're celebrating Noble Drew Ali. And they saw enough honor in him to present themselves. And they presented themselves. Let's see what the questions got for today. Because the individuals you people have to deal with nowadays versus 08, sorry for you. It's rough out there. It's rough. Not being able to just go to the source. Getting played. Oh yeah. Last week, we got the question about the lesson that stand out for Moors. This was one of the Moors' response. As far as the lesson that stands out, we're gonna take a little excerpt out of this. I'll take an excerpt out of this.
So that's how they're growing so fast. They're hiring freelancers. Look what they're doing with AI experts.
Unbelievable. That dog almost looks real.
Invites me back, we can do part 2 and go in depth with it. Okay, it's the house of the ancient ones, all right? And the book of Daniel is called the Ancient of the Days. You ever heard of that? Well, these 7 planets is the Ancient of Days, okay? So that you'll know that. Okay, this is, has anybody ever heard a little ringing in your ear before? And they tell you it's tinnitus? No, that's the ancestors talking to you. Those Europeans don't know Jack, but they want to give you something because as soon as you go to them, they be like, oh no, we got to stop that. Whoa, back up. And then I was reading this book that was written back in the 1700s about the ringing in the ears and how it's the ancestors saying, you messing up, I'm here, baby, call me. I got you back. And they want us to cut off our connection with the spiritual umbilical cord. Are you crazy? And that's all it is. Because it get, as your chakras get aligned, it gets ting, ting. And what's the original name for the ear? The original name for the ear. We don't know. Tambourine.
Now, hold it.
The eardrum?
Now, you know how the ringing in the ear, it comes and then it goes right away, then it comes and goes right away. Well, what about if it stays?
Then that means your solar plexus is not spinning. It could be spinning, but in the wrong direction. You got to detox, y'all. You need magnesium in your body. Okay? All women right now, y'all need magnesium because they done took it out of everything. Because magnesium is what has us doing this. We can't concentrate. We have to get back to liquid magnesium and complete nutrition because there's no way for us to get magnesium. But you have to keep in mind it's the part of the King Alfred plan. They're trying to destroy us. Okay, so that's why people be like, yeah, but what can I eat? Nothing. They taking it out. You just got to go and get the real magnesium and take it. And I'm telling you, it's nasty. It hit the 5th taste bud under here. But it's worth it. I mean, it will have you all day like, ooh, it leaves a taste in your mouth. But the thing about it is it makes you stronger and it builds up your immune system. You know, another way to start off with is called brewer's yeast. And that tastes like dirt. Brewer's yeast. And you really need it. You're a Capricorn. But you need it with calcium and potassium. Yes. But complete nutrition. But I like the liquid better. To be honest, you can get it on the internet. Just type in complete nutrition. You know, it's like they say it's $75 a bottle, but if you buy 3 bottles, it's only $25 a bottle. Buy 3 bottles. Do the math. You know, but they get people like that because that's be on the first page, and then people pull out their cards and. But if you keep going to the 15th page, you'll see the discounts. You know. Because we're always fast because they know you're lacking magnesium. You're not going to sit there and study it long enough. You know, so they use it against you. Right? Saturn is so important. It's your cycle of rest. Okay? When you are in your last cycle, your rest cycle, which is the last 52 days before your next birthday, everything you do is going to fail. You're supposed to chill. If you really think about right before your birthday, how you feel? Don't you feel? And then when your birthday comes, you're like, yeah. It's my birthday. Well, that's that Capricorn. That's that inner depression. You got to get in tune with your moon sign. But that's just a Capricorn thing. We're just loners. It's all right. But we scale the mountaintop sure-footed. We steadfast. You know what I mean? We take one step at a time. It's okay. Everybody else is zooming past us, and we'll be like, dang, how do you get all the way over there? Well, then that's something in your moon sign, too. You know what your moon sign is? Okay, so you got to find out your moon sign and everything. So that has a lot to do with it. Okay, are you a December or January Capricorn?
December.
Oh, okay, that has a lot to do with it. You need this, too. Well, everybody needs it. But by you being a loner, I bet you can't name 99 people you know, can you? That you know. I didn't say people you are acquainted with. Because they run on the 99 attributes.
That I know?
Yeah, 99 people that no matter what got your back.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know that. No.
But that's the goal for Capricorn, 99 friends. I got 99 problems, but... Really. It's the 99 attributes, the 99 beads, the rosary. Capricorn starts off the year January 1st, and it ends the year. It's called the tax season. Because nobody makes income, just like you don't supposed to pay tithes, because tithes is 10% of the income. Y'all make wages.
So you're saying that this I put in new season, that's supposed to make us.
You shouldn't make tithes at all. The 20th Amendment ruined that. You don't get an income. You get wages. You're servants. Yeah, you're in bondage. So when the church say you got to pay your tithes and offering, but the dictionary says and the Bible said that it's supposed to be 10% of my income. We ain't got income since 1933. I don't owe you nothing. Now, it does say out of your wages, you're supposed to add to the building fund. That's why the building fund is always there and there ain't no building. That comes out your wages, the building fund. But ain't nothing got built. Okay? Not 10%. You're supposed to, a free will donation of your wages. It's not 10%. Those people that is called deacons of the church, they pay 10%. Not you, not the congregation. Hey, if you're going to walk like a Jew, do what a Jew do. You know? Just don't be a black Jew. Huh? Yes. And also in Deuteronomy. Yeah, it's a parable. It has to have something to compare it with, a comparison. So you know. 18. Just read the whole chapter. Because it'll tell you what all this is. Sorcery, witchcraft. It's like...
So why are they against it so much? I mean, why is it...
Because you won't need that hit every Sunday. I mean, everybody go to church on Sunday. They get that hit. They feel good. You got to go back and get another hit next Sunday. They don't give you enough to keep on moving. They don't give you the 7 cycles.
This is the mentality I want you to have. When you're down and out and you're stuck, it's hard to do. The mistake you can't make.
And if you know this church, and for anybody who's ever been to church, they go over the same 101 chapters. From January to December. And then Noble Drew Ali wrote the 101s to break that spell. Okay? That's what the 101s is really for. For children, to get you from being programmed. And they won't talk about Jeremiah unless they asking for some of this. Okay? When's the last time you heard a minister talk about Daniel and Revelation? What about Ezekiel? Oh, well, then how come they can't tell you the truth? They won't even touch them books. What? Why? See, once you tell me not to do something, me, am I hard-headed? Why? So they can tell you you're the most powerful thing on the planet? That if you teach a woman, you teach a nation? The church is set up to suppress you. So why would they give you power? Why don't they talk about Rufus? Now, Rufus is one of the first lessons you learn in the Blue Degrees. No matter what Masonic order you in, theirs or ours, you start with Ruth. How come they ain't starting with that in Sunday school?
All of the women, that's reserved for.
When you talk about the Canaanites and Moabites, they say that they don't, the people, they triaglodite niggers. Triaglodite niggers, monkeys. A nigger. That's what they teach, that the Canaanites was niggers. But now we know what a nigger is. It's called the MSG, because they created mononucleosis, syphilis, and gonorrhea. And that's in the Bible. Look up the Horites. Look at any Bible dictionary, and it'll tell you the white disease ones. Hori. See, etymology will unlock all of that. That's true Bible study. That's the triaglodite niggers. Okay, that's where you can find it in the Bible. Also, it's called the Jacob's experiment, Jacobian experiment as well. Yakub. It's the whole Testament. Just look in your Bible concordance. Yeah, it's too many to name them all. Just look it up. And what they were talking about them in churches, they use it and make us believe that they're talking about us. They flipped it on us. You know, and then most of the ones that are standing up there preaching, for the most part, they do know. Because they're preaching, not teaching, right? So you're not going to get this because they're to preach to you, not teach you. And how you can tell the difference is when you go to a church, any church, ask the pastor, minister, whatever, did you go to a theological school or seminary? Because seminary means sperm, semen. So that means they got it from a testimony. Testimony means testicles. They got balls to tell the truth, basically speaking. Those who went to theological school, they are programmers. So it's good to know where they received their education. If they say, oh, I went to the seminary and such, be like, oh, see, then why you ain't talking about nationality? Because I know you know. What's a parable? Oh, I'll talk to you later, sister. We'll talk later. I'll take you out to lunch because they see that I'm a threat to their congregation. Okay? But those are simple things you can ask. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to disrespect them. Well, Red, what school you go to? And then don't respond to the way he wants you to respond. Just be like, oh, that's very interesting, and walk away. Let him be bewildered or she be bewildered. Walk away. Because they always going to remember you because they know. Yes. Why she asked me that?
Yes.
And then when you come back next Sunday, oh, they going to point you out in the congregation. The Lord got something for you, sister. You're going to be the favorite person in the church. Trust me. Because they be like, what is she going to tell? What she know? Biting her nails. I like doing it just to keep them. I go to all the churches. You know, just shake them up a little bit. But then again, I also volunteer for the children's Sunday school. And this is what I teach the children in Sunday school while they up there listening to the kids. You gotta get it in. You gotta get it in. And this is how I started all of this. Okay?
All right. And it goes on and on and on. So you can just check that one for the standout lessons, you know. And then just checking the chat, Mors will tell you. Mors will put you on game. You know, everything's not 5,000. You know, Mors will put you on game. So there's so many lessons. So many. You got to walk the path to learn the lessons. That's the best. The best teacher is experience. And you definitely learn from the experience. Has the Moorish movement been infiltrated? not to the degree that the Moorish Science Temple was infiltrated because of the jurisdictions. So when you look at the Moorish Divine National Movement, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Divine and National Movement is open, right? A claim could be made, but it's not ownership. It's recognizing what it is that was brought, because we're talking about pre-Moorish Science Temple of America, pre-filing Cook County and all that. Pre that. When you look at the infiltration and you see how it went down with the Moorish Science Temple, now you see why these other organizations, movement exists, so that you have something to fall back on when these people sell out, because they're going to show their hand, because the fame and nobility is real. So you know the traders, right? And majority of it is a finance chasing thing, because this is that, you know, it's that prosperous. You know, you could use Moorish and hit yourself off fairly well, just from some consultations. And it goes back to that same theme. You know, just got a message from a brother the other day. Dealt with some Moors, and he paid for the thing, and this thing didn't work, and then now he can't get a hold of them, and you didn't read the fine print. And then he thought he was dealing with Moors. Just came in looking for some info. You know, some Moors brought something up, checked it out, and, you know, went with it. No, like, they're not claiming to be Moorish Science Temple or anything like that. They're just some Moors out there. You know, they might have the Moorish flag on their, you know, logo or paperwork or emblem or whatever to try to catch people. But as soon as they start talking about 2,000 and 5,000 and all that, you have to realize there's a sellout happening. And is it happening because somebody is paying them to do that? I mean, you know, the people are paying them. They don't really have to get paid from anybody else. So even though the Moorish Divine and National Movement is more open, and is older, the Moorish Science Temple of America had way more infiltration. And then it was also younger, so you can see, you know, they want to get in early, you know, and try to take over. You know, which led to today, where you don't hear Moorish Divine National Movement unless it's from active Moors. You don't even hear it. Moorish Science Temple people, they're not talking about it. All they're talking about is Moorish Science Temple. That's it. They don't even mention Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Right? And it's all there in the administrative functions. Everything that it takes for this to run. The real infiltration came in at the temple, the Moorish temple level. The infiltration that really, put a wedge in this. It was from that level. Because everything led to Moorish Temple of America being, the biggest thing happened in 1928, 1929. And then due to the infiltration, they almost got rid of it. But again, this was sent by Allah, so that's not happening. There's always going to be a more. There's always at least going to be one more. That's going to be the last one. And the prophet stated, child's going to run inside and tell the parent, "Hey, mom, I saw more." Like Loch Ness Monster and aliens and all that. But the stuff is around all the time. It's there. You're just not seeing it. But the movement is the people's activity. The people who say that they're Moorish Americans and they honor Noble Drew Ali, the movement of the Moorish Divine and National Movement is what the people are doing with what Noble Drew Ali brought. And when we look at the Moors who are doing good with what Noble Drew Ali brought, we could round of applause for being Moors. There's honorable Moors doing honorable works relative to this. The Moorish Divine and National Movement, or the Moorish Science Temple, or the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Or Moors that just put Noble Drew Ali up front and they don't even do any organization or whatever. There's some Moors honor their prophet. And the way they choose to honor him is by living by the principles and all that. And doing the things necessary to be better. How could Moors focus on economics using colonial money? The best way is converting that colonial money to something. Because there's still going to be certain people that are going to take the colonial money. Right? So having the colonial money, you would have, a portion of it, you would have something of it because, just in case. But the backup would be in something that's tangible. If we're talking about the colonial money and having to exist with it, don't put your eggs in all one basket. Go the route of making sure your household's right. Let that be the economics. Don't get get sideswiped. Because there's also a slavery that's economic. There's a slavery that's economic. And the new idea, the new idea of the wealth and riches and all that stuff when we're talking about economics, it's really about self-management. It's really about once you know how to deal with self, you will much more easier be able to deal with others. So when you look at a nation that's functioning properly, as soon as you go to the household, you're going to see village takes care of the child. It's not send them off to whoever, or we're not dealing with this, or it's village takes care of the child. Right? Man's not just sitting around doing nothing, playing stuff, and she's going out there and doing all the everything. Now just check the ones that are functioning, the ones that have something. Their economy is well because their household is well. Their management of where they're at, where the physical body's at, where the family's at, and all of them are always on the same page. There's no someone over there, oh, we're going to do this thing over here, and then they're going to do that thing over there, and they're in the same family. That's not how it goes with all the other nations. Only with our people. Only with our people are these crazy, situations. Man, crazy. But again, it's the hex. It's the hex. Once you're in the dead status, then you're going to get what you get. Don't complain about it. It's nothing personal. But as far as that, you're focused on getting self in order. Getting self in order. Start up something. Start doing something to get the house in order. Go volunteer. Do something. There's enough work for all to do. There's enough work for all to do. All who are worthy, of course, because not everybody's worthy. There's another one of the lessons. People who you thought might have been worthy and all that stuff, and then they sell up. Not everybody's worthy. There's some that aren't built for freedom. Because freedom is work. Freedom is putting in some work. What are some problems that are holding the Moors back? So when we say the Moors, if we're just talking about our people. And the thing that's holding our people back is the same thing as usual. The sellouts and the traders. So our only problem. Right? Like the Burkina Faso security man who they tried to pay off, and then he snitched and said, yeah, they tried to pay me off and all that because they're not going to sell out their own. They're not going to sell out their own. Right? But once you don't have that, then this stuff is ripe for infiltration and for misrepresentation and anything else. And more than likely, it's going to be somebody who looks like you. So I drew Ali said, Kaviat Mtor. There's a high road and a low road. Where are you at? And again, you know, it's when we look at how is it for the Moors as a whole? And then somebody's going to say, no, I'm not a Moor, and then they're going to talk about their school of thought. Which is why we have the issues that we have. If you go to any other people and you say the nation, all of them are going to be down with the nation. They're not going to be making up fake flags and trying to justify some fraudulent position that they have. Right? We say it all the time. For all the Moors who were part of this and then just yielded and then stopped being part, went to go do whatever else, you know, do something different, whatever. Right? Them staying, you know, not giving up, you know, because of whatever reason, you know, because nobody else gives up on their nation. One man in the Olympics took triple the time or something like that because he had some injury or something. He's like, yo, my nation sent me here. My nation sent me here. Not because I'm injured, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna punk out. Because there's really no issues. We build with enough Moors. We know enough Moors in this chat right now. Right now they're exercising right to travel. They haven't had any issues for 10 years. Zero issues. And then there's other jurisdictions like here where they're taking your stuff. That's what they're doing. They're giving you a chance to try to exercise. It's not that the law doesn't exist. It's not that the truth doesn't work. But there's going to be opposition. But the opposition comes from all the other people who are Moors that don't want to be Moors, and then they're given the fraudulent instruments. Or they're not challenging the fake currency. Or they're not challenging the dead status. And they think because they got a $50 billion building says black something on it that they made it. It's always going to be your own. When you look at the problems, right? Like Zodiacus was talking about. Yakub. That's your own. Don't complain to me about some European did something. Because if your own didn't create them, you wouldn't be having this problem of the pale people and all that. They're here because some dumbass thought he was a scientist and did some dumb stuff. And here we are dealing with this problem. Dealing with this problem because your own created them. Your own went into the lab and said, hey, make a species to be a slave. It's fat, big head, couldn't walk around the damn place, head so damn big. You want to make a slave because you don't want to carry around his big head. It's always going to be your own. So knowing that it's going to be your own, that's going to sell you out. Just be mindful, and make sure that the energy is right. Make sure that you check the chart and all that stuff. Look at the stars and all that to make sure who you're dealing with that they're legit from the chart and all that, not from your opinion of them. Well, he had a Moorish. He had a Moorish whatever. So I thought he was all right. And then if there are problems that Moors have, they can be solved. And Moors who are studious, they would find a solution for their problems. You're not going to sit around holding on to problems. They're going to go look, find, research, and figure the problem out. That's Moors who I know. That's how those Moors do. I don't know Moors who there's a problem and then they just dwell in the problem. They're actively working on themselves. So if they're working on themselves to solve their personal individual problems, then you ain't got to worry about no problems. As Moors are willing to work on their self and fix their self problems before anything else. How are Moors supposed to end colonization at America like the nations at Africa? The nations at Africa are nationalizing. Drew Ali told these Moors in the 1920s about nationality. That they're not Negro, black, colored. Why? Because that's colonization. We do not wish to amalgamate and marry into the families of Europe because that's not our stuff. We have our own stuff now. Colonization is done tomorrow. You think Pope coming out with motu proprio and all that stuff isn't because Moors been sending him writs? Moors all over the place just sending him writs. CCing them on everything that Moors are doing as far as their activity. You really think so? The hex, the self-hex, is the Negro, black, colored, whatever. As long as there's that, colonization continues. And why is there that? Because of our people, going back again to it's always your own, because our people want to embrace these brands as identity, as a nation, and lie to themselves and the world that they're a black nation. And there's black entertainment and all this other BS. The solution is there to end colonization. But what are these dummies above Mexico all about? Are they about waking up to the truth about their nationality and their birthrights? And that truth is that we're not Negro, black, colored, Indian, and all that stuff. We're Moors. So how are Moors supposed to end colonization? Stop being unconscious Moors. That's how. Everybody else is doing that. They're recognizing their nation. They're not making up any fake flag and all that stuff. The flag that they've been had is the same flag that they're using. They're just saying that we know now. We have the knowledge that we don't need modern Europeans. If you're going to be coming and digging up our land to go make whatever it is that obviously we have stuff here. Obviously, this is some wasteland and all that stuff, like how people are talking. Valley of the Dead and all this. Colonization had to end in the mind first. This is what Juali figured out. So he brought us all these lessons in the Quran to get your mind right. Get your mind and the soul below right. Get that in tune with the as above. Again, the nations outside of America, they're unifying right now. Right now, they're unifying right now. The South Americas, all of them know who they are. All of them have coat of arms with feathers on it. You go where they got Moorish architecture, all that. All of them know what's up already. They call themselves by their tribal name, but they already know what's up. They know they're indigenous people and all that. Central America and North America, other than Mexico, Yucatan being the cradle of civilization for the over here part, they all know what's up. They know who they are. They know that they're Moreno and they're not Negro and all that stuff. They know all that. They know this. They call themselves by their tribe. Mexican or whatever. One's above Mexico. That live in this jurisdiction above Mexico. And above Mexico, that's Moorish territory. That's the land that belongs to the Moors. And then you could even go back to the heirs of Henry Turner versus United States. And if they're talking about 68,000 acres and that's just him, then what you mean over here isn't the indigenous peoples? And then who are these indigenous peoples? What's their name? Oh, they've been misnamed Negro, black, colored, Indian, and all the other stuff when they're actually Moors. And this is their land over here. From over there, across Great Atlantis to over here is the jurisdiction. All they have to do is say that they're Moors. You could be whatever tribe, school of thought you want. We don't care. What's your nationality, though? You're in America, right? Yeah. Okay. You're Moorish. Mm-hmm. Juali told you in the 20s. Nobody was saying, nah, you're not Moorish American to them. They said, nah, you're not Moorish American. We're not letting you shut the street down and have parades and all that. It gets wild once you realize, once it hits you that, hold on a second, everybody is doing what the Moors been saying that we should be doing since the 1920s. Everybody's doing it. In some way, shape, or form, they're doing what the Moors said we should be doing. And then all those peoples think things are looking up for them. Things are looking up. And they're doing the same thing that Moors are doing. They're doing the same thing that Moors are doing. And it shouldn't be too hard for Moors. You just do what we're supposed to do. Oh yeah, can't do that because of your own. Constantly selling you out. So you're either going to learn the truth about your nationality and birthrights the easy way or the hard way. The easy way or the hard way. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Well, let me just refresh this thing and see if any more. See if any more questions came in. Honors to all the Moors worldwide that love their prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and honor him to the best of their ability. Honors to you. All the Moors in the chat, Islam. Islam. To all the Moors in the chat. Supreme honors to all the Moors. Don't forget Q&A Wednesday. Every Wednesday. Q&A Wednesday. Do our best, have it as much as we can. And we haven't had too many Moors coming back with the questions didn't get answered and all that. So something must be working. Something must be right. And don't forget, Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour. Mecca, once again. It's going to be a great time. Email for info. Honors to all. Supreme honors. Noble Drew Ali, did a lot of work. So honors to you for loving your prophet. Islam to all you Moors, all over, wherever you are. Honors to you. Thank you. Love and peace, Moors. Islam.